You know what that shows you, people? No matter what you've done in your life, if you're determined to turn your life around, if you surround yourself with the right people and you do the right thing, if you capitalize on the talent that you have within you, then you can turn your life around too. That's what this should tell you. This should be an example for all of you out there that are struggling. Life does give us a second chance at times, but we have to capitalize on it by doing the right thing. That's the important thing. Hey everyone, welcome to another Sit Down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody is doing well. All is very blessed, very good on this end. As always, I give God all the praise, honor, glory, and thanksgiving for that. And as you can see, I am still in Italy. We're in Portofino. It's raining today. I thought it would be best that I communicate with all of you. We found a spot that we film in. It's kind of rough here, a lot of activity and people are talking, but we did find a good spot. And here we are again. So hope you enjoy it. And yesterday was a great day, by the way. We've had great weather. I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of work, but we've been getting some good vacay time in. Yesterday we were on the Mediterranean. It was beautiful. We were in a chartered boat and had such a great time, me and the family. So, you know, we always need a little rest and relaxation. I've been working hard this year. We always work hard, but working hard this year. It's been a good one, though. Very blessed, for sure. And we got a lot coming up, a lot coming up, which I'll get into at another time. I want to know what you feel about this. How do you feel about criminals capitalizing on their criminal activity by writing a book, getting a movie made on them, doing anything that would be capitalizing on their criminal activity? Now, most of you are going to say, I don't want to see that. You know what? I don't think it's right either. I don't think somebody should commit a crime and then really capitalize on it. There could be some exceptions. If somebody has turned their life around and has proven over a period of time that they're doing the right thing, I believe in giving everybody a second chance. Hey, I've had a second chance, so I'm very grateful and thankful to all of you, obviously to my God above, but to all of you for giving me a second chance in life. There are some cases when it's okay. I think you've heard of the Son of Sam law. It's a law that happened because of David Berkowitz, the Son of Sam, the serial killer, goes back, many, many years in New York. As a matter of fact, stay tuned, because I have gotten permission to interview David Berkowitz in prison. He's doing life, he's never coming home. I don't want to give anything away, but it's been very interesting, the relationship and how this came about. But we'll talk about it, and it should be I'm excited to speak to him. Mental health issues and other things that might be going on. We're going to cover a lot of stuff, but because of David Berkowitz, Son of Sam, the Son of Sam law was created in New York. It was later found to be unconstitutional, but basically the law stated that, a criminal could not capitalize or earn money based upon their criminal activity, their crimes, because it was an insult to the victims. It was said to be unconstitutional. The Supreme Court knocked it down because it violated freedom of speech rights, but then it was recreated in another form to go along with whatever the Supreme Court said was the wrong way to do it. They kind of engineered the law to comply with whatever ruling the Supreme Court came down with. But in general, I think it's wrong. But I think it's fine if people have cleaned up their lives and they're moving in the right direction, they're out of criminal activity and they're doing the right thing. I think it's okay in many cases. Not in all cases, but in many cases. And I came across an article again that talks about 12 people that actually, their criminal activity launched a new career for them. Maybe I'm one of them, but let's talk about it, and I think you'll enjoy this. And the article says 12 times criminal activity launched an entertainment career. And let me just read this. Inspiration can come from anywhere. Tell me what you think about this. I want to hear it in your comments after I read this. This was very interesting to me. And these former criminals or one-time mistake makers are living proof. Whether they needed a little time in the clink to get their literal act together, or they finally realized that we're all suckers for true crime stories, these baddies spun their illegal doings into legal and fruitful careers. We do love a touch of the naughty stuff, don't we? I've heard so many girls, young women say, I like bad boys. There's something about them that I really like. I've heard that many, many times. That's up for you ladies to decide. I'm not, saying anything. This is only what I've heard. We're pretty sure that people who've had real life encounters with gang members or the mafia wouldn't describe them as cool. But from the safety of our couch, mob movies and gangster rap are pretty awesome. Safety seems to be the standout word there. In other words, you like these people from a distance. As outsiders with no real grasp of the actual dangers involved, that life just seems so enticing, doesn't it? Young guys, they see mob guys hanging out on the street corners and they want to be like us. That's the truth, And a lot of these, gangster rappers, a lot of young kids on the street, hey, I can do that. I want to be like that. These are role models, good or bad. It's the truth. They really are. It's like they don't care about the law. That's wild stuff right there. Better yet, these specific career crooks live to tell the tale. Even better yet, there just so happens to be a huge market for those tales. Hey, true crime, huge market. Whether it be online, in the movies, on television, go look it up. True crime is it. Here are 12 times criminal activity launched an entertainment career. We're going to go from 12 down to 1. Leonardo DiCaprio played him in a movie, so he'll always have that. And who is that? Frank Abagnale. Was a con man who now runs a fraud consulting company. You saw the movie. Brilliant movie. Leonardo DiCaprio was brilliant, as always. That guy can't make a bad film. He's just terrific. But he played Frank Abagnale. By 21, he claims to have written $2.5 million in fraudulent checks and successfully posed as an airline pilot, a doctor, a lawyer, and a professor. Whether it's even remotely true is debatable, but his story was made into the film Catch Me If You Can. After prison, his fraud consulting company has serviced more than 14,000 companies to date. Turned his life around. So now he's helping people. He's 14,000 companies, allegedly, he's helped through his company, teaching them what fraud is all about, how to recognize it, how to avoid it. My friend Barry Minkow does the same thing. You know that whole story, Z-Best Carpeting, Barry, he's turned his life around, and he's helping prevent fraud right now. He's doing a good job of it. Okay, that's number 12. Number 11, sometimes all it takes is showing up for someone. Danny Trejo, you know who he is, played in a lot of movies. He went to a movie set as a drug counselor. He was in prison for what he called a gas chamber offense, something very serious. He was released on a technicality and began drug counseling. He started to help people through his counseling. He was on the set of Runaway Train, a movie, to counsel an addict and was offered the role that launched his film career. And Danny Trejo has done a brilliant job. He's been in many, many movies. Normally plays the bad guy, but all he did was show up on the set of a film to be a counselor to a drug addict there, and he gets the role. Unbelievable. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. He had cleaned up his act. He was trying to do the right thing. Number 10, from a murder trial to an ABC game show host, Snoop Dogg came a long way. Snoop Dogg's murder trial boosted his street cred. In 1993, Snoop was on trial for first-degree murder after his associates shot a rival gang member while in Snoop's car. I remember the trial. Snoop was acquitted, but the publicity helped his 1993 debut album, Doggy Style, debut at number 1 on Billboard and sell over 11 million copies. Okay, so, murder trial, he was acquitted, found not guilty, but that's what launched his career. He sold, number 1 on Billboard, 11 million copies of that album, and we all know Snoop. He does television commercials now. He's, a very prolific rapper. He's, I think he's got a wine, that he sponsors, that he's branded, so Snoop has done tremendous. Number 9, Norman Reedus' worst day ended on a high note. A drunken fight sparked Norman Reedus' acting career. He beat up his boss, who fired him. That day he got drunk, yelled at people at a party, and was asked to be in a play at the same time. With zero intentions of being an actor, he tried it, and his first performance was seen by an agent who began sending him on auditions. And what was the TV series that he starred in that everybody loved, the hit series on AMC, The Walking Dead? He did it terrific job. So look at how that started. You never know, people. Crazy, crazy business. Number 8, The Wire needed realism and got it in droves. Great television series, The Wire. Before The Wire, Felicia Snoop Pearson was a real-life gangster. This was a lady. She was an actual drug dealer who spent years in prison. Michael K. Williams met her at a nightclub and suggested that she audition. Creators and fans widely consider her one of the most authentic parts of the show. That's pretty amazing. She didn't even know she could act. act. You know, she happened to be in the right place at the right time. It's a kind of the Lana Turner story when she was, you know, discovered in a pharmacy, you know, or something. But you know what? Sometimes you don't even know you have a certain ability, but somebody sees you, right place, right time, you get a break, and, you know, the rest is history. So good for her. Number 7, there seems to be a market for this. Kevin Mitnick went from the FBI's most wanted list to owning his own security firm. At 16, he hacked the Digital Equipment Corporation, stole their software, and became a fugitive for 3 years. The FBI finally arrested him, and after 7 years in prison, he opened Mitnick Security, which helps companies discover security lapses in their systems. All right, so this isn't entertainment, but he turned his criminal career into something great, and he's helping people now. So should he capitalize on that? Yeah, because he turned his life around, you know, and he's doing the right thing now. Why not? You know, if he's helping others, what's wrong with that? We're at number 6, and everybody that follows me and knows the mob genre knows this one. He's a celebrity at this point, none other than Sammy the Bull Gravano. We all know his story, Mafia hitman to YouTube and social media influencer, and I guess you can certainly say that. Sammy's done pretty well for himself. It says John Gotti's underboss. He took part in, you know, his past. We don't have to go through that. Now openly discusses all of his past on his podcast, his YouTube channel, and he has almost 600,000 subscribers. Everybody knows Sammy's a great storyteller. He does a great job. He's kind of reinvented himself. He's doing a lot of good things now. He's got a lot of stuff going on, so he's done well. And they say through his YouTube channel, his merch, and his book, he's made roughly $500,000 since his release from prison. I don't know if that's true. I doubt they got that number from Sammy or anywhere else. I don't know if they got it from tax returns. Probably not. Who knows? Doesn't matter. They always throw numbers out. Probably not accurate. And Sammy's not obligated to tell anybody how much he's earned other than the IRS. So, but anyway, number 6, Sammy, congrats, you made the list. Great job, buddy. Number 5, my dad was a famous mobster. Give me money for it. None other than John Gotti's descendants who cashed in on his name. And she's done very well for herself, as well as her grandchildren. The 2004 A&E show, Growing Up Gotti, had 3 full seasons and a massive following. It was a hit show. It featured Gotti's daughter, Victoria, with her 3 sons, and Victoria leveraged the show's popularity into appearances on The Apprentice and Mob Wives. She did great for herself. Why not? It was her dad. Anything around John Gotti grabs attention, and they did a great job. And hey, Victoria, good for you, and hopefully it was good for your grandsons also. Glad to hear it. She made the list at number 5. Number 4, I think you might be familiar with this person. His successful YouTube channel inspired other mobsters to start channels of their own. I don't know if that's true or not, but hey, who is it? None other than yours truly. Michael Franzese is the top earner legally and illegally. I'm reading now from the article. The former mob cop regime of the Colombo crime family was one of the highest earning mobsters of all time, up to $8 million a week. That's the number they gave me, and they're pretty accurate on that. Now this YouTube channel, his books, his wine, his public appearances, you know I got Franzese wine. We also got Slices Pizza. I may as well throw them all in here. They earned him roughly $280,000 per year legally. I don't know where they got that number. I am not commenting on it. Again, the only one I owe that to is the IRS. But anyway, we made the list at number 4. And you know, people, hopefully you understand that, you know, we did try to turn our lives around. And yeah, we're capitalizing on it. Look, I had notoriety in the past, no doubt about it. It was the mob genre, that platform that kind of gave me my start 25 years ago when I was recruited by all the pro sports and then the NCAA to start to speak to athletes about gambling. Also recruited by my church to give my testimony. And, you know, through the grace of God and through all of you and through my lovely wife and my kids and everybody that supported me, been able to turn it around and turn it into a career. So, you know, very blessed to have that happen. I give all the credit to the people that supported me, to my God above, and to just being very, very blessed. So, number 3, the stunt driver got her chops evading the cops. Georgia Durante was a mafia getaway driver before starting a stunt driving company. I know Georgia, we've spoken in the past. Very nice lady. I didn't know about her past, quite honestly, but she's done very well for herself. The former model married into the Gambino crime family and became a getaway driver on several heists. Very interesting, a lady. After turning her life around, she started her own stunt driving company. It's called Performance 2, and she's created scenes for over 100 movies. I know that for a fact. She's done extremely well for herself. Georgia, good job. You know, you deserved it. You earned it. Nobody gave her anything. She's earned this. So good job, Georgia. Number 2, with all that downtime, Capone and Noriega got to writing. Rap duo Capone and Noriega, they met in prison. Back in 1992, Victor Noriega Santiago met Kim Capone Holly in Greenhaven Prison in New York. They were serving time for unrelated attempted murder cases. Their first album, 1997's The War Report, went gold, and they're often considered one of the best rap groups of all time. I've certainly heard of them. I'm not really familiar with them. I have friends that I'm sure know them very well that are in the business, but hey, they've done great for themselves. They met in prison, and you know what? If you can get a good alliance in prison that's going to help you capitalize legally when you get out, what's wrong with that? So good job, Capone and Noriega. And finally, we get to number one. I'm not happy about this. I don't think any of you are going to be happy about this, but let me read it to you. It's kind of disgusting, but let me read it to you. Well, that's one way to get famous. Number one, a cannibalistic necrophiliac became a millionaire. In 1981, Issei Sagawa murdered Renee Hartfeld in Paris. I remember that. He ate parts of her and he raped her corpse over a series of over several days, from what I understand. He was freed from prison on a technicality. I think they deported him back to Japan, and he was freed from prison after serving like 2 years, and he made roughly $5 million writing 20 books about his crime. Let me tell you, if he was in the United States, he wouldn't have any popularity. He wouldn't be able to earn off of this. He'd probably be in jail for the rest of his life. But he's in Japan. The laws are differently back then. He got out of jail on a technicality. Hey, the law is what it is. And he's made money off of his crime, which is a pretty deplorable, disgusting crime. I have to say that. So the fact that this guy was able to earn money on it, hey, who am I to judge? But I don't like it. I'm sure none of you will too. Anyway, those are the 12 people that have capitalized on their former criminal activity, myself being one of them. I guess you can say I capitalized on it. That's been my platform. It started out with that. Unfortunately, people like the mob genre, and it's led to a lot of things with me. But hey, you know, I did the time. I spent 20 years in that life, you know, hopefully paid my debt to society, and we move on just like many of these or all of these on the list, except for number one. Not happy about him. But hey, you know what that shows you, people? No matter what you've done in your life, if you're determined to turn your life around, if you surround yourself with the right people and you do the right thing, if you capitalize on the talent that you have within you, then you can turn your life around too. That's what this should tell you. This should be an example for all of you out there that are struggling. Life does give us a second chance at times, but we have to capitalize on it by doing the right thing. That's the important thing. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope it's a little bit inspirational to all of you out there that might be struggling. And just again, realize there are second chances in life. If you get one, make the best of it. That's it for today. How do I always leave you, my friends? The same way, no matter where I am, Italy, Spain, or on the moon. Be safe, be healthy. God bless every one of you. And yes, I'll see you next time. Take care.